Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Rogers Kakasungura YouTube channel. Big thank you to each and every one of you. When I was going through the comments in my latest video, I came across a comment from Sylvia Gillo. And she's saying, Kaka huwa unalala kweli. Imagine making a research and writing papers for 10 videos in a day. Because, you know, what I speak here, some of the points are written so that I'm not, so that I don't mislead you. So I do research day and night. I don't sleep. So those who want to send coffee, you're welcome. She's saying, Kaka wa unalala kweli. You seem to be overworking. Fans, please send coffee to this man. He's working for us. Thank you, Sylvia. So those who want to send coffee, you are much welcome. My phone number is always in the public domain. 0700 169444 0700169444. Pia kuna podium mwingine nimetengeneza hapa. Those who could wish to buy for me ile kiti kubwa kidogo, ile kiti unazunguka kidogo, I really appreciate. Hii iko lakini iko chini sana. So when I'm reading, I force myself. Yani ninachoka hapa kwa shingo. If I read like 10 videos a day doing like this, I really get tired. But then, if you want to do that, we have a new podium. Then I will highly appreciate. Imekosa tu kiti. That is why I've not used it. Now, there's something I've been asking myself since yesterday, and I've decided to bring it here so that we discuss and maybe see if it makes sense. I stand corrected. I am not always 100% correct. I have a question today. Was it a setup for the ODM by Ruto agreeing to accommodate them in the cabinet? Was this a setup? There are several factors I am going to consider here before we make a conclusion on whether by the ODM joining the cabinet, is it a setup or something that is meant to develop our country? But to my own side, I see it as a setup. I'll give my reasons. I'll argue my case. I am convinced it is a setup because of the following reasons. Ruto has been under pressure to tell Kenyans about the status of our debts, how much we have borrowed, and how much we've paid, and how much is remaining. Ruto has been under pressure to answer those questions. Ruto has been under pressure to reduce the cost of living. Ruto has been under pressure to deal with corruption. Before the Gen Zs came, ODM were the people who were pushing this narrative. Ruto promised to lower the cost of living. He has not. Ruto promised not to borrow. He is borrowing. Ruto promised to reduce expenditure. He is spending more. So Ruto has been under pressure. By any chance, to my own view, did Ruto decide to transfer all this pressure back to ODM, the people who have been mounting the pressure? Because before Gen Zs came, ODM was the one responsible for this pressure. By any chance, did Ruto decide to send the pressure back to the sender? That's a question. Number 2. From the look of things, mimi nikiangalia tu vizuri, I tend to be convinced, and I will argue my case. I tend to be convinced the new cabinet secretaries were proposed by the dismissed CSS. I tend to believe so. The new CSS, you see, whether from ODM, whether reinstated, the list, I tend to believe totally that yes, the outgoing CSS proposed the incoming CSS. Why? I was researching on how Moi used to fire cabinet ministers. By that time, they were ministers. When Moi could fire a minister, the minister in question could only learn the sacking on news. Moi had no time to call the CS into a meeting and prepare him psychologically that he's going to be fired. If the CS was in Turkana doing a government assignment, he could learn in Turkana that he has been fired. If the CS was in Mombasa doing the government assignment, the CS could learn on news or through a phone call from friends kwamba tumesikia umevutwa. Moi had no time to call a CS into a meeting before firing him. If the CS was enjoying together with his concubines or girlfriends, the CS could learn it on TV, radio, or a phone call from friends who had listened to the news. I found the same tactic when Uhuru Kenyatta fired CSS. He had no time to call that CS into a meeting and tell him, you know, I want to fire you because you are incompetent, because I don't know, don't make noise when I fire you, we'll just sort out these things, blah, 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 blah. He had no that time. But come to William Ruto. Before William Ruto fired his cabinet, before William Ruto dismissed his cabinet, he first called them into a meeting. Wakaketi chini. They discussed, they proposed, wakatenga na wakatengua. They widely discussed, paka wakaelewana na William Ruto kwamba we have no choice, now dismiss us. But as you dismiss us, do A, B, C, D. Look at the newly appointed CS Migos Yogamba. Migos Yogamba replaced Ezekiel Machogu in the very same cabinet. Migos Yogamba was Machogu's running mate for the governorship in Kisii, the same ticket UDA. So Ruto fired Machogu A and employed Machogu B. So it's like the name of Migosi was suggested by Ezekiel Machogu because they were buddies. They ran the campaign together. Migosi was a deputy, was a running mate. That means Machogu had a hand in his appointment. William Ruto is in Coast. When he's in Coast, Aisha Juma spoke yesterday. And Aisha Juma fully backed the appointment of Ali Hassan Joho into the cabinet. And Aisha Juma said, I will fully support William Samoei Ruto. I'm in government and I'm not leaving. If they had not been psychologically prepared and given input to the new cabinet, they could be hitting William Ruto very hard from all corners. So, based on this, I am fully convinced that bringing ODM into the cabinet was a trap from William Ruto. God bless you, ladies and gentlemen. See you in the next video. Asanteni sana.